A picture is worth 1,000 words, though these images are likely worth a few more. We've all grown up and heard some pretty disturbing jokes over the years, oftentimes proving that our thoughts are much dirtier than we care to admit. Though these 10 photos will prove that each and every one of us has a very dirty mind. Before we jump into the video, remember to hit that like button and stay tuned to the end. You don't want to miss number 1. Bathtub Barbie. This photo shows a well put together blonde woman getting a refreshing bubble bath after a hard day's work. Though it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what makes this photo quite disturbing. You may have been tempted to reach for that report button below the video, but rest assured this photo does not show any nudity whatsoever. What you may have perceived to be this woman's private melons were actually her arms and elbows. If you take a closer look, you'll see that the darker pink areas are her outer elbows resting on the sides of the tub. This image would be enough to get any teenage boy riled up, though it's just a standard image of a woman enjoying a nice relaxing bath. If you think this image is provocative, just wait for the others we have in store. Things are gonna get pretty weird. Copping a feel. This image may look like an advertisement for some variety of beverage, and you may be right, but you're also somewhat wrong. These two friends seem to be enjoying a heartfelt conversation with each other and enjoying their afternoon. The red-haired girl seems to be enjoying her beverage a bit more than the girl with brunette hair. But if you let your eyes roam just a bit, you'll likely see that the brunette girl seems to be grabbing a feel of her best friend. Or is she? This is a bit of camera angle trickery. And no, the brunette girl is not taking advantage of the red-haired girl. If you look very closely, you can see that the other leg in the image belongs to the brunette. This can be a bit difficult to understand, but take a super close look and you'll see that both the brunette's legs and the red-haired girl's legs are resting on the bench. This photo is a real mind bender. Just a couple friends. It seems pretty obvious that this image was just supposed to document a great girls' night out. We can see a very diverse group of women enjoying the company of one another. We can't say for sure if this is someone's prom night, wedding night, or otherwise, but they are certainly dressed to impress. Each of the 5 women seem to be having a great time. A little too great, you might say. This image likely confused the photographer tremendously, but it's actually a pretty clean-cut image if you take the time to analyze it. On the surface, it may seem like the 2 girls on the end are spreading themselves for the world to see, propping themselves onto the laps of their friends. Though this isn't what it seems by any means. Much like the previous image, this is a strange illusion. In fact, all of the girls are sitting closed-legged on a bench. No one is being provocative in any way, it's just a simple trick of the eye. Too close for comfort. This image once again involves 2 young women who seem to be close friends. They're hanging out at a bar and having a great time, but the first thing you may notice is the strange expression on the brunette girl's face. She seems to be interested in something a bit lower down than the camera can see. Though if you pan your eyes to the lower portion of the image, you'll see that she looks as though she's giving the blonde girl a bit more than she bargained for. It looks like the blonde girl has her leg rested across the brunette's lap, with the brunette digging for gold in her nether regions. Though, as is expected, this image isn't what it seems. Legs apparently trick the camera quite often, as this is once again a perspective mishap. The leg in the image belongs to the brunette, and she's simply resting her palm between her knees. Nothing strange to see here at all. Cushion for pushing. This image doesn't require too much explanation, but just in case you're completely blind, this image shows a dark room filled with what appears to be a young woman or young man's derriere. Though if you take a second glance at the photo, you can see that these are just a few cushions that have been awkwardly placed against one another, giving the viewer the illusion of a buttocks. We have to admit, this image takes some close looking in order to determine what it exactly is. In fact, it's much easier to just accept this image for what it's not. Though regardless of our dirty minds, this is a simple image with a simple premise. Plumbing problem. We have to admit, this image is pretty old and has made the rounds online countless times over the years, but it's still quite funny. It seems as though the people who constructed this piping didn't plan too far ahead, or maybe they did, and they simply had very dirty minds. We can't tell what type of piping this is, but these large pieces of pipe appear to be feeding who knows what to the ground below. Though if you just glance at the image and don't take too much logic into account, it looks like the upper pipe could easily be having its way with the lower pipe. We don't know for sure whether or not this is consensual, but considering the two pipes are stuck together this way forever, we certainly hope so. We can't help but wonder what these contractors were thinking when they built this platform. Wash your hands. This is one of the most classic photos on this list, and it remains funny no matter how many times you see it. A little girl can be seen standing with her father at what appears to be an amusement park of some sort. She's enjoying a hot summer's day and washing her hands off at a nearby fountain. There's a crowd of people around, but it looks as though this little girl is washing her hands in a different fountain than she anticipated. Her father's fountain, to be exact. It looks like this man is relieving himself directly into the young girl's hand, but that isn't the case at all. There appears to be a water spout conveniently placed directly in front of the man's lower body. We couldn't have asked for a more appropriately timed image. Taking a swim. This is another provocative image that has made the rounds online before, but it's one of the most uncanny uses of film trickery that we have ever seen. This image is enough to shock an entire classroom of younger viewers, but it's not at all what it seems. This photo appears to show a nude woman hanging out in a pool, begging for you to join her, though she isn't nude at all, at least we don't think so. What appears to be a private image of this woman is actually not so private at all. She's hanging out on the edge of a pool with her knees tucked beneath her chest. Her knees give the illusion that she's completely undressed, ready for whatever comes next. Though taking another look at the image revealed that she's just enjoying the summer and having a dip in a pool. PNS. Graduation is one of the most exciting times of anyone's life. We can finally put down our school books and backpacks and think about what life has in store for us next. We can begin to plan for our future, make plans to potentially attend college or get married and start a family. Or for this guy, regret ever taking your yearbook photo. This man's parents must not have taken enough time to think through his first initial, as he was doomed for all eternity unless he changes his name. The man's first name starts with P, though his last name is unfortunately Ennis. We can only imagine the sheer amount of jokes that are bound to stem from this yearbook photo in the coming years. It's incredibly unfortunate, but hey, at least he was able to share some laughs with his classmates. Bare butt. This woman is likely unaware that this photo was ever taken, though her face was thankfully not included in the photo. This image shows a woman walking down a hallway with what appears to be a neck cushion of some sort strapped onto her purse. She's minding her own business and getting her daily work taken care of, though the person behind her had other things in mind. As she walks down the hall, we can't help but shake the thought that her neck pillow looks like she has a split in the back of her dress and is walking down the hall with her bare butt hanging out. It seems as though the cameraman had the same thing in mind, otherwise he wouldn't have ever taken the photo. What a strange color for a pillow. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell to keep up to date with our future videos.